You got 13 athletes competing in this one, going almost 4 laps, minus 100. And there's your 1,500 list right there.
Get that extra 100 just to keep it close. And this pace is going to be phenomenal. We got multiple 330s in this heat. Top 5, top 4, and great Gary Martin for Virginia. Expect him to do some damage.
Gary Martin, number 4 in the NCAA in time, came in with a 3:33.71 this season. Another Bowerman watch list recipient. He was on the one just 2 weeks ago. He owns the collegiate record for the 3rd fastest time in history in the 1500 at 3:33.71, which he ran at the Rally Relay so far this year.
Close on his heels, Abel Tefra from Georgetown, the senior, his last go at it, and he said NCAA meet record with the mile time of 3:53. So indoors treated him very well. He's named the Big East Male Track Athlete of the Week in May, so perfect time to be getting these accolades if you're a senior from Georgetown.
And Damian Hackett, who out near the leaders right now, the senior from Cornell, had the number 3 time. He set his personal best this year with a 3:39.26, and he beat that with a 3:36.78 just later this year. And so you'll look for him to be near the leaders at the front. Now we're going into the curve.
It's one of those situations where you have to maintain a pretty solid pace, but you're in a great position like Harrison Witt, senior from Princeton. Personal best 3:37, holds Princeton's school record in the 1500 with that time, and he won the 1500 meter at the Ivy League Heptagonal Outdoor Championship in this year.
So 2 laps to go. Jed Helker is at the front right now, just 2 steps ahead of Harrison Witt, the senior from Cincinnati. Jed Helker, a Big 12 selection here in the 1500 meters. He's out in front. Just on his right hip is Harrison Witt. Now he will take the lead out in front.
The pace here is just phenomenal because you see there's really just one gap and then there's one straggler behind. Every move that has been made by Witt or whoever has been immediately matched with pace.
So Helker from Cincinnati has dropped back a little bit. Up front for Princeton, it's Harrison Witt who has the lead as we go into our final lap here. Tefra from Georgetown just behind him, a step and a half behind him at his right hip. So Tefra and the man from Princeton at the front. Witt is still keeping the pace at the lead with a 59.61 on that last lap, and here's where the kick finally starts for the final 200 of this race, Alvin.
You can just feel it. Look at the stride length, look at the arms. This is where you got to dig.
So here's Witt at the front. Tefra is just behind him. In this one, the top 5 from each heat are going to advance, and now they're going to kick it into gear for the final 100 of this race. It's those 2, and Gary Martin from Virginia is now making a late push. We have the leader now from Tefra. It's going to be Tefra at the front, and Witt and Martin finishing 1, 2, and 3. And they're going to qualify and go to Eugene. 3:38.65, the time Tefra finished with for the victory here.
Excellent race, and for all those wondering, the reason why Witt was looking back, he's just focused on getting to Oregon. And let's look at where that bubble is. 3 minutes, 40 seconds, .04 for Duncan Robinson. Not to be confused with the NBA player, but Jesse.
You're going to confuse that with the NBA player? Is 6'9", all right.
You see athletes all over the place like, oh, I know that guy. You don't. But, Jesse, phenomenal finish. The kick started at that 200-meter mark, and that shows the strength that everyone was able to run with in the beginning 3 laps. So if you take a look here, you see moves start to be made. You see Witt make that initial move, and from there, Tefra's right on his heels, understanding that right at this point, that final 100, that's when he's going to get after it.
So here we go for heat number 2. Remember, the top 5 are going to qualify, plus the next 2 best times. And the best time coming in with this one, Ethan Strand and Liam Murphy, both now top 2 best times in this one. But Liam Murphy ranked the #1 NCAA runner in the 1500 from Villanova. Look for him to sort of be in the middle of the pack here and then make his way towards the front later on. He set the NCAA record this year in the 1500 with a time of 33:02 in Raleigh, North Carolina on March 27th. That is the best time in NCAA history.
It's always nice when you're running a mile with a guy that just dominated the history books. See, that'll boost everyone's PR up. You have a couple of guys that are below top 10. James Dune, Georgetown senior, he's not coming in at 9. You talk about Ethan Strand. There's a couple guys that can really make some moves here. And with time like that, you might be able to PR.
And Georgetown always seems to have a runner who is at the lead of the pack. James Dunn for them, the senior, is up there. He was a transfer from an NCAA Division II and then came in here and has been dominating for Georgetown ever since. Also keep an eye on Owen Karras from Yale, who got the 3rd best time in the preliminaries coming in here.
Victor Idhammer from Virginia Tech right now hovering in that top 5 spot. Placed 5th at the ACC Championships with a 3:41 time. Finished 1st in the 800 meter for Virginia High Performance meets in a PB of 1 minute and 48 seconds. So not only is he a mile runner, but he also combines that with some sprinting as well.
So Victor Idhammer has the lead, the junior from Virginia Tech. He's on the inside there, and he's running strong out in front with Ethan Strand and Liam Murphy. As we have our final 2 laps underway, Liam Murphy now takes the lead on that last lap, and we're still going.
In this one, you see a little bit more strategy. You don't see a long line. You see guys getting out into that lane 2, getting out to that lane 3, not necessarily concerned about making it a 1,503 meters, more so they want to be able to go on a kick and not have to worry about tumbling.
Up in front, Liam Murphy and Victor Idhammer for Virginia Tech. Liam Murphy, again, 8-time All-American and 11-time Big East champion, is sitting pretty there right in the middle, that white jersey with the blue shorts, now out in front from Villanova.
Trent McFarland from Harvard, the sophomore, he's doing some work here, hanging out in that middle pack. He might PR here.
There's also Ethan Strand, who's just to the right of Liam Murphy. So our top 2, who are both on the Bowerman watch list. Ethan Strand also tied that NCAA record that Liam Murphy set, 3:33:02 this season, and he set an NCAA record in the mile also this year. The best time we've seen here in the final lap when we're going to the final 250 meters.
Look at the pace here. Stride for stride for multiple athletes. Who got that extra gear they could tap into?
So up in front now, it's Idhammer and Trent McFarland from Michigan. Now we're going into the final curve. Michigan's Trent McFarland is making the turn. He's out in front for the final 100. Now here comes Ethan Strand from North Carolina, legging it out at the 50, the 30, the 20, the 10. He's going to go in there for the victory. He's going to Eugene. Obviously, Liam Murphy's going to qualify. A nice run, though, by Virginia Tech and Victor Idhammer to also potentially get a qualification as well. Ethan Strand finishes in 1st. Trent McFarland, the sophomore from Michigan, finishes in 2nd. Frank Kovatz is in 3rd. Liam Murphy, is in 4th. And Segriola from Indiana, the junior, the automatic qualifiers in this one.
All 344s across the board qualify. You get Rod Nitch to 345 as that bubble. Jesse, the part I love the most about Ethan Strand's mile is you didn't necessarily see him in that first 2 laps. He was hanging out in that 2nd and 3rd pack. He didn't really care too much about what's going on. Here you see him a little bit farther in the back. But once the going got tough, that's when he makes his move and he's able to strike. Here you see him leg it out. And the best part about his finish here, he jogs all the way to the water. He's not even tired. He can go for another mile if he had to.
So, Jauad Kachina, the sophomore from South Carolina who finished in 6th that race, is going to hope that he can get that qualification for an at-large bid to the NCAAs. We'll find out in just moments once all of the points are tallied for that one. We'll head on and look forward to the 3,000 meter steeplechase when we return here on ESPN+.